I'm gonna do an insight video today. I woke up this morning and I was just like looking around and reflecting on things and reflecting on life a bit. I've had a few things going on lately, like I've said in some of these videos, to do with some stuff going on with like family members and stuff that haven't been very well. But I woke up this morning and again the inner world and the external world was very much at play, like within my energy today. And I was sort of like connected in, and I was sort of like woke up, and I felt like spirit was sort of like very much in, like my guides were very much talking about letting go today. And this is like it kept, like when you say the words letting go, you know, for me it's sort of like it can be a bit blasé sometimes when you say let go or letting go. You know, what does this really mean? For me, sort of like connecting into the inner world and the external world, and like the inner sort of like the universal law of correspondence, it very much connects around again about creation. Um, and it's sort of like looking at your thoughts, your feelings, um, your emotions, and how sort of like how you can use your energy in a better way. We're all sort of like we're all bombarded and overwhelmed with at times with, you know, external pressures of what it is like to be human, and some of the stresses and strains that go along with that. You know, with sort of like money and sort of daily things. But also peace and balance is also about sort of like the recognition that you really don't have any worries. That, you know, and it's about trusting like your guides, trusting in the energies that are around you. And again, it's about like letting go. It's about dissolving. It's about releasing. And this whole time is very much around that at the moment. I feel there's a massive shift on the planet going on with this. You know, I'm talking to a lot of people around me. I get lessons from like colleagues and people that I deal with and interact with every day. Um, there's opportunities. There's opportunities to dissolve, release, um, shift daily, because there's lots of things coming up for lots of people, and they're all coming up, and it seems to be like um, there's challenges, but there's also opportunities to learn at the moment. Um, and a lot of them are about sort of like, again, about that sort of like that inner, that universal law of like correspondence, where we talk about like creation and creating sacred spaces, uh, and connecting to your source energy, and connecting to a place where, you know, that you start to create uh, at will, but also you step into an energy frequency and a light where you start to see through the illusion of these things. And again, this is illumination. This is like when you start talking about like Lord Lanto and the Ascended Masters, and the energy and the flow of the universe. Illumination, again, to me works on many different levels. Illumination is where you walk in your own light and you walk in your own essence, and you connect to your source energy. But illumination is also dissolving, and it's shifting, and it's sort of like letting go. But it's also, illumination is having the receiving and becoming a channel to receive insights, understanding and awareness, to start to really shift and change reality, but change your thought processes and patterns, to start to sort of like create a more harmonious and a more sort of like um, aligned and peaceful sort of reality, and spirit walk in pure union, and pure sort of like pure frequency and pure union, um, with your source energy. uh, and source energy works on an unconditional vibration. So, you know, to shift and change and lift your vibration, we have to see reality in an unconditional way. And by doing that, it also means about not attaching. It means not attaching to dramas, not attaching to the illusion of like thoughts and feelings that in a sense create worry, create stress, create anxiety, create doubt, create fear. So illumination is also sort of like learning to live in that light. As I was listening to a podcast quite a few years ago, and they were like discourses, or like they were like information from ascended masters, and it said that the light shall set you free. And I really truly believe in this, because like in my experience of being a spiritual being, and when I'm in my spiritual source and I walk in that light, um, I vibrate in it, and in that I'm secure, and there's no worries, there's no problems, there's no issues, and this is like the ultimate reality. We start opening up, and we, as we lift our frequency, then we start to come back to oneness. We start to come back into that law of one, where we can start to access the infinite flow of the universe, but also we access our soul wisdom and our soul knowledge. And this is what this time's about, bringing forth your soul knowledge and your soul wisdom and your gifts and your understanding, and it's giving it back to this time, because this time very much needs it. As we start to access our soul wisdom and we walk in that soul wisdom, what we start to do is we start to vibrate and through we start to vibrate on a frequency where we start to live in a more spiritual reality and spiritual way. And when we start to do that, then we start to create a reality that's more aligned with that unconditional and the universal sort of vibration, which is this infinite picture. It also opens up our channel, and it opens our channel to start to connect again, once again, to our guides and the archangels and the angels and the ascended masters. It opens up your energy centers within your own body, so you can start to open up like your heart chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, your ground chakra, and your solar plexus, where a lot of your personal power comes from. Where you can connect into that infinite sort of like divine intelligence, that divine will. It again connects to our Moira, who brings the energy to sort of this reconnection to this divine will and this divine intelligence, which is each and every one of us are open to that. And once we start to get into that flow, then we can start to see the opportunities, start to receive the messages. This connects to the universal law of inspired action as well, which is where we start to, when we go into the universal law of correspondence, we're in our source energy. We open up our spiritual channels to start to receive the guidance, the messages. And the angels bring the messages, and they send guidance as well, or they direct guidance or guides to sort of like give us the information and the insight to activate our awareness within our energy channel and in our source energy. But also it activates that soul knowledge and that soul wisdom that's inherent in each and every one of us. And when we activate that and bring it into our lives, then we start to live in a way that is in harmony and in balance and alignment. Again, this is the universal law of oneness, the universal law of vibration and frequency. Universal law of transmutation and transformation again is very much at play here, because when we start to see that we have that wisdom, that light, that energy, and we can express it and integrate it and start to walk in that light in everything we do, then we start to receive that knowledge and that wisdom. We start to awaken it. So then what we do is then we start to apply it to our lives, where we transform and transmute. So we transmute by going from different states of being, which is into different states of consciousness. As we elevate our consciousness as spiritual beings, we start to walk with wisdom, we start to walk with awareness, we start to walk in light. And this is what this time's about, and this is what the masters are bringing to us. You've got Serapis Bay, which is very much around like the portals and very much around sort of like raising our vibration back into oneness and ascension. And ascension is oneness. It's coming back to our light, our energy. And this is what Master Jesus taught us as well. The Master Jesus taught us this about walking in our light, walking in our energy, and using our energy in a way to heal, create, but also to harmonize. And everything is about harmony. Spirit world works in perfect union and harmony with all other, realities, all other sort of aspects. And we are one sort of spiritual reality down there. Each and every one of us are spiritual beings vibrating with that light, that energy. And our purpose is to come down here, is to harmonize with each other, is to each of us are a student, and each of us are a teacher, and all of us are on our own ascension path, and we're all on our own sort of mastery path. Being a master is about sort of like looking at how we use our energy and use our light in a way that once we start to be able to do it in this human form, then we can start to access again those infinite spiritual realms that are around us. And this is what this time's about, and this is why it's so important. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. I just had a phone call for a second. So yeah, this is what this time's about. This time's about mastery. It's about sort of like awakening. It's about awareness. It's about applying our knowledge, our wisdom, to this time and this moment. It's about starting to walk in a spiritual light, walk in a spiritual way, where we start to bring forth and express that light, and we become back in union. And this is the heaven on earth. This is the fifth dimension, but this is also going to the sixth dimension, where we start to look at source creation, source light. But we also come back, because the sixth dimension is where we start to go into source energy and the light and energy of the spirit world and the spiritual, guides and energies, and we start to know that they walk with us, and we're not separate from them. We're in one. We're in this one complete, sort of like, there is no separation. The vibration, the frequency of the spirit world, we are the same vibrations and the frequency of the spirit world, and we are the same as the spirit world. We are just in human form, but we also vibrate. We're also connected to them. So this is what this time's about: is that they're bringing the two sort of realities together, the source energy back to this plane of existence, and bringing that light energy. And this is what light workers do. They're anchoring it in. They're anchoring that energy into this time. And this is what we're all part here for. This is why we've incarnated. This is why we're bringing back our soul wisdom, our soul knowledge. It's to anchor in that light and start to walk as those light workers, and bring and express this light again, this source energy of creation, and creating, a beautiful spiritual reality in our own lives, but then also helping to create and sort of like bring this beautiful spiritual reality for the planet and also for each other. So we all awaken. We still all become part of that spiritual community again. And this is what this time's about. And this is what fifth dimensional realities are about. Fifth dimensional communities are about. When you start talking about like Telos and that, which is a spiritual community that's supposed to be in Mount Shasta, and the other different sort of ethereal realms of light and energy. It's about becoming again. It's about awakening and walking as that light, letting go and not letting our energy get caught up into the daily things of the material plane of the third dimension, which is not the reality. That's the illusion. But also the awakening that we can create a different reality, a higher, a more sort of spiritual frequency on the planet than 3D. 3D is a physical thing. It's in the physical mind. As we're not, we're spiritual beings with spiritual energy and spiritual light, and we've all come down to bring that light and anchor it into the planet, and on the planet to start to create a different reality. And this is what the New Dawning's about, and this is what they did in Atlantis and Lemuria, and this is why we're here now. Many of us have come back from those spiritual times, those spiritual realities, and cultures have come back to this earth at this time to bring that back to the planet, because the planet has been out of union of it for so long. And this is what the masters and the angels and the guides are bringing us, and it's bringing it back to source. So we're part of that universal community, that spiritual community, as they were in Atlantis and Lemuria. And this is why the knowledge and the wisdom's coming back, and this is why it's starting to also surface from our souls when we incarnated, and this is why we're bringing back these gifts at this time. So this is what this time's very much around. So it's about expressing your light, it's about illuminating, it's about creating, it's about letting go, and it's about becoming back into source. And we're all here to anchor that light in, and this is what this time's about. And this is so this is the reading and the insight for today. Please check out my Facebook page, Spiritual Awareness and Insight on Facebook. Like, subscribe, comment, share any of your own experiences. I'd love to hear about your own experiences, because anything like that, we can work with, spirit can work with. We can all build and create a better vibration and start to build this spiritual blueprint that's needed on the planet. Have a great day.